Parashat Bechukotai, if you like, God comes to Bnei Israel and says, look guys, I have good news and I have bad news. We know, by the way, that Bnei Israel said, give us the good news first, because that's how Bechukotai starts. It talks about what happens if we're good boys and girls in history and what happens if we're bad boys and girls in history. However, when we look at the difference between the good news and the bad news, there is a striking difference. The bad news is very realistic and very historic. The bad news says if you are bad, basically everything that's happened to the Jews in the past 2,000 years is here. You don't need the prophets. The prophecy is here in Bechukotai. I'm going to kick you out of your land. The land is going to be barren for God knows how long. Anti-Semitism, pogroms, everything that Megillat Eicha, the book of Eicha, talks about, that we read in Tisha B'Av, it is all here. Very historic. The bad news has happened to us. It's very historic. It is very realistic. Very different to that is the good news. The good news is strikingly unrealistic. The good news talks about a scenario where the land is going to grow such abundance and flavorsome stuff in ways that are clearly unnatural, and 5 soldiers of yours are going to take on 1,000 soldiers of another nation, and I, God, am going to walk amongst you. And how does Rashi explain this? In the Garden of Eden, I'm going to walk amongst you. Meaning clearly the good news is unrealistic and is a sort of happily ever after. Now, I don't know about you, but that doesn't seem fair. Why should, if we're bad boys and girls, we get punished historically, realistically in the now? Why can't the good news be the same, right? Why can't it just, be, you'll have a good life? Why does it have to be fantastic and it's not fair? I don't know about you, but I suffer from a messianic complex. The messianic complex is, I want redemption, I want the Messiah, but deep down, I'm not sure I really want things to change. It's a problem in the human mind. But I think Bechukotai is actually, it's a Torah portion about hope. And what God is in essence telling us, and the way I think I can understand this striking disproportion between the good news and the bad news, is God is in fact saying, look, if you're bad boys and girls, bad things are going to happen. But know that I will always be there for you. Always. You can always redeem yourselves. I will always be there, no matter how bad it gets. And I will always be with you until the happily ever after. Until life is so amazing that, you've never seen things like this. Shabbat Shalom.